The subject of this video is, what is photographic art? The other day I came across this photograph. And I didn't think too much of it except for the fact that it had a price tag on it. Somebody paid $4.3 million for this. So I went on the internet and looked some more, and some guy was saying I wouldn't give you a dime for it. So it led me to ask, what the heck, what is it? What is this art? And so it happened that evening at dinner I put this in front of my wife and I said, Patty, what do you think of this photograph? Well, she was a little hesitant because she thought maybe I took it. So she said, well, what is that? I said, well, that's the Rhine River. Well, then she knew I didn't take it, so she said, no, does nothing for me, she said. I said, okay, well, let's go and Google $4.3 million. So she said, okay. So after dinner she did that, and she has her own computer in the other room. About half an hour later, she subsequently sent me this. And I looked at that, and the title of this guy was $6.5 million. $6.5 million. And I'm completely baffled. I do not understand art and photography and the dollars associated with it. I have to be the first to admit that. I do not understand. So then we come to street photography, okay? Now here's a book by Robert Frank, The Americans. Now Robert Frank, he produced a book and he published, he published all his pictures, and so the profits from the book went to Robert Frank. Great, that's the way it's supposed to work. Then you got Gary Winogrand. He took pictures every day, produced thousands and thousands of photographs. He didn't actually publish that much, but after he died, voila, huge book came out with some of the stuff he printed. But more important is you go to the back where it talks about each individual picture, and many times there's a little note that says posthumous digital reproduction from original negative, Gary Winogrand Archive, Center for Creative Photography, University of Arizona. So after he died, Gary's making a lot of money. So where was the money when these guys are alive, Where's the money? So I was on a blog, and there was a guy talking about Vivian Maier. Vivian Maier was a very unusual person. She was a very private person. She took photos all her life. Her job was a nanny, and when she lived in the house with the kids she was taking care of, she had a private room in the attic. She even put a lock on the door. None of the family were able to go in this room. They didn't know she was taking all these pictures. So she had an accident in 2009, I guess it was. I forget the actual year, but the fact is she left behind 100,000 negatives, 700 rolls of undeveloped color film, and 8mm, 16mm movies. Well, these were in a storage bin someplace, and there was a guy that was local, and he was kind of like a history guy, and he was at this auction And he thought, gee, maybe they're, you know, maybe within these negatives might be something historic for the area. So for $380 he bought the negatives. And so he had a couple of them printed and put them on the internet, and suddenly there was a big demand. Boy, you got to do more of this. This is great. She's a fantastic photographer, blah, blah, blah. And so the man is sitting on a gold mine, and I subsequently saw a blog about a guy was kind of saying, the Vivian Maier stuff, how good can it be? I mean, she never printed any of that stuff. You got some amateur out there doing this, and so I pointed out to him the Gary Winogrand stuff, how they're printing his stuff and he's dead. So he said, well, I guess I'll have to get that book. But I don't understand the money. People are getting tons of money after they die. There was another one, as a Diane Arbus. She died. She wasn't rich when she died. She was a good photographer. But 40 years after she died, Diane is producing books. And books are bringing in a lot of money. So I don't understand the photographic art. I don't understand the business. You know, why aren't these people getting their money while they're alive? I guess maybe they're artists and not business people. Maybe that's it. But I just wanted to let you know that I am totally confused about art and photography and the relationship to money. So if you have some ideas on this video, it'd be a place to write a comment. You can say, well, here's why, and then I'll know. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.